Okay, here we go.
All right. Okay. So what should we say? If you wish upon a star, something, Jimminy Crickets. Yes, hey, how's it going? Welcome to IoT Coffee Talk, live
Yes.
from the largest Disney store in the entire galaxy.
In the
Here
galaxy, that's big.
friggin' Orlando. Well, I mean, look at the size of this thing.
That's pretty big.
It's endless. And so I'm here with my family, and my kid just discovered the Star Wars section, and I'm going to run away.
You gotta run.
I am, because I hear him going, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy" in the background.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I got to hide in the corner somewhere.
I need.
I need. I don't know how he gets to I need Star Wars XYZ, but yeah.
Wait for him to tell you that these action figures will be worth something in 20 years or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. So everybody, welcome to IoT Coffee Talk. Leonard is live from Disney World in Orlando. Is it nice and cool and low humidity there, Leonard?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100% disgusting.
Awesome.
Yes, I think it's around 90 degrees and about 1,600% humidity.
1,600%. Yeah, that's about right for Orlando. Yeah.
You know. Yeah, all I have to do is walk outside, and then all of a sudden water falls out of your...
Yeah.
Yeah, your money's worth on those AirPod Pros. I think it's filtering out probably...
Oh, a ridiculous amount of noise.
We're hearing lots of noise.
Still hear noise, but
we're hearing tons of outside noise.
Really?
Yeah. You're probably going to have to go outside the store for it to be quiet enough.
Oh, hell no. I know this ploy. I know this trick that you're trying to play.
No, we're serious.
I'll sign off.
No, you don't have to sign off.
You don't have to sign off.
Maybe just AirPods Pros. My wife pulled these out of the laundry last night. Out.
Yeah, not good. No bueno, as you say.
They made it through the washer and the dryer. I haven't tried them out yet. So
you know what's really cool, though, about the AirPod? What I use now is a lot of the Find Me function.
Yeah?
Have you tried the near? It's like ultimate. I don't know if it's ultra wideband. Is that what they use? But
yeah,
if you're within like 20 or 30 feet, you can sort of walk around your house and find this stuff.
Wow. That's impressive.
I had to use it a couple of times because my daughter will take one of them and hide them somewhere. And
so, Leonard, the sound of the store is overwhelming.
You need mute until you talk, and then...
okay.
It's like overwhelming. We can't hear anything else.
Rob and I can have a conversation.
Hold on.
By the way, speaking of finding things, so I'm just going to give a little plug. I'm using this little... I bought some of these credit cards. They're actually they attach to the Find Me function of your iPhone.
No way.
Yeah. So, and they're actually MagSafe charged. So you charge it with MagSafe.
It's a credit card.
It's a credit card, but it's not a credit. I mean, it's just a tracker. Basically.
Okay.
But it's in a form factor of a credit card. So you stick it in your wallet.
Yeah.
And that's your tracker. So you don't have one of those big tags and all that other crap.
Right. Oh, I like that.
But that connects right into your Find Me function. I don't know if that has the ultra wideband, like actual near treasure hunt type function.
Right.
But it's pretty cool. But you can see like this kind of stuff now has become, you can stick this in a luggage tag in your luggage.
I didn't know if that was like one of those fancy black startup founder credit cards that shows that you're part of the elite,
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Silicon Valley,
They only make one of these.
Absolutely. Right. Now Leonard, as soon as you walk outside of that loud store, I'd love to hear about your review. I know you've had the Fold. Haven't you had the Galaxy Fold7 device?
He's coming in and out of.
No, he can't even hear
me some PTSD.
He's looking at us funny
because I haven't been to a Disney store in a long time. But
I know. Well, I guess
Bellevue Square. Remember the one in Bellevue Square? I don't know if it's still.
Yeah, I don't know if it's there anymore.
But that was
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you along with the rest of the store.
You, right?
Okay. But we can hear you. Sounds like there's a lot of screaming.
There's a lot of screaming in the store. You just need to go outside into the real world.
Screaming for
you need to leave the store and go outside.
And there.
Into the warm, let that warm humidity hug wrap around you.
Envelop you.
It says, "Welcome to Florida."
Like a python.
There we are. Yeah, not going to happen because, like I told you, it's like 90 degrees.
No,
and
it doesn't matter.
It's so disgusting out there, dude. And then I'll probably like catch a serious respiratory disease or something.
No.
Going back and forth. It's ridiculous.
You can't wuss out like that, dude. What if you were living in Singapore? What if you were living in Singapore? It's like that every day.
Then you would have to suffer this noise. Hold on.
Oh, there you go.
Sure. Yeah. I know you got what it takes to handle the humidity and heat.
You guys are just... No, I don't. I'm Californian, dude. This stuff is sacrilege. This is evil. This is like straight up evil stuff.
Oh my gosh. We want to send an apology out to all our listeners in the greater Orlando area for getting...
We love Orlando.
We love Orlando.
Stream right now.
You know, Orlando and Vegas are kind of our two biggest event places in the United States, actually, that have enough convention space and hotels, to do the largest conferences and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty loud out here too because they have all that Disney music going on, right?
Yeah, they do.
It's beautiful. Hey, no, I have nothing against Orlando. If it was in a different state, like in California, then yes, I would love it even more.
Yeah, if only they had a Disneyland in California. That would.
If only.
Oh yeah.
We could do one of those.
Preferably SoCal. I'm serious, man. I do not know how people walk around here. It's just, they
acclimate. I don't know.
You acclimate. You just do.
You get one of those big turkey legs, a big gulp thing, and you just, acclimate.
Exactly.
So hey, is Debbie on? I think I saw Debbie. Hey, Debbie, what's up? She's on mute.
Hello,
While she's
Debbie.
Unmuting.
Yeah.
While she's unmuting, yes, I have it on me right now.
All right, show us.
This is the Samsung Z Fold7.
Yeah.
Right, and here it is folded out. I kind of.
Wow, look at you holding it open like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm digging it. The thing that I really love about this phone is look how thin it is.
Okay.
So, about as thin as most premium slab phones, right?
Okay.
And when it's sitting on your desk, you don't notice otherwise. You just think it's just a regular slab smartphone, right? Wow. And because before these things used to be so thick, these foldables used to be so thick.
Yeah.
They basically were like foldable computers, right?
Right.
Like a netbook. Almost, right?
That's a blast from the past. A netbook.
Yeah, but when this thing is folded out, man, it is like ridiculously thin. I mean, look at that.
That is razor thin.
That is pretty. Yeah, the camera bump is massive.
Yeah. I mean, now the camera bump's going to be thicker than the phone at some point. So.
Right.
Yeah. And here's the odd thing: if it wasn't for the camera bump, you'd probably drop this thing all the time because it's so friggin' thin. You know what I'm saying? So for people who have larger hands are going to have trouble handling the phone when it's folded out because it's way thinner than any slab. Yeah. Right. So, frankly, amazing piece of engineering here. We have to hand it to the folks at Samsung and undoubtedly our friends at Samsung for putting together some. And you know what's really cool about this thing is it runs really cool considering how thin this thing is, right? You would think that because of how thin it is that it would have trouble dissipating heat.
Right.
Actually, it does a great job.
I guess it has a lot of surface area, so.
It does, but still, do you know what I'm saying?
You're not stacking stuff together.
And and I think that's one of the advantages of now these foldable designs and and what the OEMs like Samsung and the Chinese vendors especially are able to achieve now. And I don't know, it's pretty cool.
I wonder if like using, I know there's a lot of tools being used for EDA and a lot of tools. Oh, I'm sorry. Debbie's talking.
All right, Debbie.
So do you find that you're using it a lot more? You like it?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest with you. I'm still not really bought into the whole foldable thing. I think for those who find it, you know, tickling their fancy, okay, yeah, all right. There are some folks who really love the foldable form factor, right? I still don't see the utility of it because what you end up experiencing is a lot of wasted space. So I think I mentioned this before. One of the things that I didn't really dig about, excuse me, the Windows Phone is with Metro, there was a lot of wasted space, a lot of navigation, right? I kind of feel you have that same problem with foldables. The OS and all the content are not optimally formatted and designed to take advantage of the screen space or the screen real estate. So, for instance, if you're watching a movie, you have these huge letter boxes on the bottom and the top.
Right.
And you actually don't really get as much viewing space as you would if you just held a flab phone horizontally and and you know, you might have a smaller letter box on the left and right of your screen, right? And so, I mean, you know, it's just, it takes away from the advantage of having that kind of real estate, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of dead blank space, and that's a problem a lot of the flip and the fold designs have. Even with the flips, you have all this wasted real estate on the top and the bottom, you know, and you know, media is just not formatted in a way that is you know, conducive or can take advantage of these new.
But would you say that about the iPad as well? I mean, yes, we watch 16:9 videos, and yes, you get a band, and that's just the way it is, you know.
Yeah, but I think it's like 4:3 aspect ratio. Yeah.
So, but one of our analysts,
where is
one of our analyst friends, Prakash, I think, came out. He did his review of the device, and he thinks that it's the ultimate productivity device.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, does it deal with email?
Huh?
I think I have a friend that has a flip that he loves. I'm sorry, a foldable that he loves, but he likes it for email because he feels like he read more of the email on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Get the big screen email.
Yeah, you can, but like I said, I think there's folks who are going to love it, and they'll have to love it. They'll have to also love the $2,000 price tag.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that's
right. And then for others, it's just, you know, it's just really not that big of a deal. Right. Yeah.
So basically, So the device has gotten dramatically better, but that price tag is still preventing rapid adoption of that.
And also, it comes down to the software too. The software has to be there to.
Yeah. And then some of the applications actually don't format well in the widescreen. You know, like when it's the folded out screen, the large screen, and you find that some of the navigations and some functionality is simply not there, and so you can't use the app. You know what I'm saying? And so they haven't really figured all this stuff out as much as maybe Android and Google are saying, hey, you know, we're all, you know, our operating system fully supports foldables. Well, your software stack evidently doesn't translate everything into the different.
Well, the app developers probably have to do a little bit of work to take advantage of the new controls and They're probably like, oh, should we do that? And like, how many are sold? And, there's a whole trade-off discussion internally on, oh, do we rev the app to do this? And blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, but I mean...
It goes below the cut line. And,
that's true. But even then, I mean, there's a way of taking, let's say, your typical 16:9 aspect ratio type format, and then having the application adapted. But what they do is they try to press that format, you know what I'm saying, and stretch everything across everything,
right.
The whole screen real estate, and then you actually lose buttons and navigation, and then as a result, an inability to actually use the software or the application. So it's weird. There's a learning curve. There's like things that still need to be worked out, which surprises me given this is like the 7th generation of these things. But like I said, if you've I'm just really astonished how well they've designed the device, and it's good because the Chinese guys were doing some scary stuff last year at IFA, things that they announced there, and earlier this year when Huawei announced their trifold, right? So these things are this category of devices is becoming important in that regard, and I'm less sold again on the screens, being able to fold the device. I'm looking more at like how it's driving new thinking in the engineering and the design of these devices, right? In terms of the constraints that these guys have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
In order to make these devices work. And I had a podcast where I stated this is probably about the time where Apple needs to start thinking about these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where's Apple in all this?
Just because the thinner designs are going to drive advanced engineering, and Apple needs to be there.
I think Apple's busy making one-off awards for President Trump for his mantle.
We're going to manufacture more stuff in America.
It was like he was presented with a special crystal thing from Apple. So now everyone's saying there's probably a listening device in that little
nice
little thing. So Tim Cook can listen in on that.
That's right. Tim can listen now. But I think you're right. I'm a big fan of great industrial design and great engineering, and I think Samsung has knocked it out of the park with its industrial design.
But the software, that's the thing, is where, and that'll be, so once Apple gets into it, I mean, I think thinking through that kind of software experience is pretty critical. But it's really the thing, $2,000 price point, this is still an early adopter thing, and so the people that are buying it are going to adapt.
It would be the same people who buy the Vision Pro.
No, maybe not. I mean, I think there'll be a class of, iPhone users who give this serious thought.
Oh yeah, no, I think if Apple came out with the Fold, I think they'd get probably an order of magnitude more sales than Samsung.
Yeah.
Oh, they would accelerate the category, and I'm pretty sure that the software would quickly adapt. It would be optimized for the screen real estate.
What are we expecting from Apple this September at their next event? Do we think a Fold's coming out, or are they going to give us a iPhone Air?
Air. It seems like Air. Then they'll probably go there with Air.
Yeah, I mean, I think
simply because you got to go there. Yeah, like one of the comments that Prakash made on my podcast is that Samsung went with the the S25, that thin one that they have, Ultra or what have you.
Yeah. Oh, Edge.
Edge.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God, I offended everyone at Samsung now. The Edge, and that design was probably a precursor to, in terms of engineering, what they did with
the Fold.
Yeah, Z Fold7.
Yeah.
And so that would probably make a lot of sense. And I think definitely Apple needs to do a better job with the thermal aspects of their design.
Yeah.
Because iPhones tend to heat up a bit.
Oh yeah.
I'm like freaking surprised. This thing does not heat up, man.
Wow.
You know me, right? I'm like, I'm pretty keen on Apple's engineering, but man, this thing does not heat up. You can watch videos for hours, browse like LinkedIn, which is now becoming an incredibly inefficient application. Piece of crap app like drains your battery for like an hour and a half, and it doesn't. I mean, it's like room temperature.
That's great.
It actually blows my mind.
Wow.
And I have to be friggin' straight up. That's what I'm saying. They're like the thermals on this thing.
Yeah.
Friggin' amazing. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that people are going to really notice in prolonged use. Your device is not going to feel uncomfortable because of the heat.
Right. That's good.
Gaming or wherever. So, hey, that's what I'm saying.
Humid environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
My iPhone is heating up right now.
Right. But I think this is good. You need a strong competitor to keep Apple's feet to the fire.
For sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, competition is always great, right? So
yeah. We saw different times in Microsoft's history when we didn't have competition for anything, and we got complacent, and we didn't do anything too good. And
Windows Media Player.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah. Ouch. So yeah, but hey, what's been going on? I've been out for 5 days.
Wow.
And I get back and I just see some of the craziest headlines. I mean, it's like, what universe are we living in?
The tariff wave has hit, apparently. I mean,
that's underway, right? Yeah,
it's underway. It's like stacking tariffs on top of tariffs. I mean, it's like now Japan is saying, well, the deal that was done, now you're stacking. There was a misunderstanding, and so now it's like the tariff is stacking on top of another tariff, and so because there's nothing written down, I guess, for what the deal was.
Was it just a handshake or something?
And then, of course, the whole issue with Intel. You saw the headlines with Lee Bhutan and
yeah.
Wow. Yes. Yes, that's a shocking headline. Trump saying that Lee Bhutan needs to resign immediately.
Crazy.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of a little bit of, we need to cancel that Broadcom acquisition of Qualcomm because of this dude named Hawk 10.
Yeah.
And
that was shocking, and obviously
Chinese national. So
yeah, it was shocking, and obviously it sent an already depressed Intel stock even lower. No surprise there. Now, I was watching business news this morning, and there was a little blurb that says his press company Cadence just got massive fines because it found out that they were violating export regulations and sending illegal stuff to China and to Chinese defense. And so maybe
they sold it to a Chinese university, and that the university was working with the Defense Department.
Okay.
And that's all been very public information. Like that's all been out in the open, and that whole issue has been litigated and resolved.
Yeah. I just heard something this morning. They acted like, well, we just found out that they violated export controls.
They did that.
Well, they found out, but
it's been in the public sphere for a long time. It's been resolved and litigated. And frankly, someone buying a license from Cadence software at a university is not too surprising. And if some other parts of that university are working with the Defense Department, also not surprising. So I guess I don't really see anything shocking there, but it's all existing stuff. And the guy's a U.S. citizen. He's lived here for 40 years. And, I think to be sort of dragged through the mud like that, it's really unfair. But,
maybe the actual goal is to depress the price so that people can load up stock at a lower valuation,
Oh, my God.
It's all about gaming the stock market, baby.
Now it is tariff. It's just decoding all the tariffs. It's going to be. I think I saw some data around the estimate is about $2,400 per household increased cost.
Yeah. Okay.
On all this stuff. So If you haven't bought your refrigerator or your Toyota or whatever, I guess it's too late. So,
oh, jeez.
I just got my air conditioner yesterday from Amazon, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, and
right under the wire.
Huh?
The repair parts for imported cars are through the roof.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. People forget about the individual parts when they need to do a repair to their car. And you're right. They're going to get dinged for that, Debbie. That's a good point.
Compressor for your air conditioner for your BMW, forget about it.
For everything, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
a repair that you would typically get costs maybe almost 40% more.
Oh my gosh, that's a great point.
It's going to hit everybody that drives Corollas. And...
I'm telling you, becoming a plumber. And
how does that affect people who drive really, really, really old Volvos, though? I'm wondering.
We're in good shape.
Yeah.
There's a good aftermarket. You just go to the flea market and you can pick up a cam and some other stuff.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Actually, I bought my transmission for my 72 Volvo from a guy in Vancouver.
Oh.
It was in his garage. He was advertising it. So I drove up there, took a look at it, and just put it in my car and drove it back.
I love it.
So, all good. So yes, old Volvo. That's gonna be the new thing. People are gonna have to now keep their cars for like 50 years.
Wait a second. Is America going to become like Cuba and be driving old cars from the 50s?
That's right. Everyone's going to drive old Chevys.
Yeah. In other words, we're sanctioning ourselves in a way.
Wow. There's the headline.
At least the government is making money, right?
Everyone who bought a Chevy Malibu is a visionary.
Well, I mean, in a way, it's kind of like sort of putting economic sanction on yourself, right? In effect, you make things so expensive, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize how much of the things we use every day are imported.
Yeah.
Well, also, there's what's the tariff on imported semiconductors now? As it's
100%. I saw
100%. So you're building gateways, you're building doorbells, you're building, sprinkler system, anything that has a chip now, which is almost everything.
Oh, you know what? All I gotta say is the IoT never gets a break.
No.
Right, Rob?
You're right.
The IoT never gets a break.
No breaks for us. Oh my God.
My God. Oh, well, hey guys, I gotta jump, but hopefully, Debbie, you can share some insights on what you're seeing on the security and trust front. I'm sure there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening there. But and have fun for the rest of the episode.
All right, I gotta go get that turkey leg.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. See you guys.
Have fun.
All right. Bye.
Awesome.
You have Dole Whip down there?
What's that?
Dole Whip. Remember Dole Whip?
I do. That's a blast from the past. Yeah.
It's they serve that at the what's the town there? Like Frontier Town or
Frontier Town? Okay.
No, the tiki room. Maybe this is Disneyland. Disneyland has the Dole Whip in the tiki room.
Right.
I don't know if they do that in Disney World, but
I haven't been to Disney World as many times as Disneyland.
Oh, funny story. I went there once when I was at Microsoft. When I first joined Microsoft, they were renewing their enterprise agreement. And so as part of the spiel, they convened a bunch of us from different divisions to go down there and brainstorm with Disney for a day or two on like projects.
That's cool.
And it was a bit of a junket. So they gave us a tour of the park and all. And we stayed in one of those jungle hotel things, whatever it is, jungle themed hotel. So that was the only time I think I went to Disney World, but yeah, pretty huge operation down there. It sounds like Leonard's going to leave there with his credit card all shredded up from all the charges. But,
yeah. Well, speaking of IoT, I think Disney is probably one of the theme parks. They are very sophisticated in terms of how they implement all this stuff. So basically, once you're in the park, they know exactly who you are and where you are. So you can walk into any, restaurant or venue and people, know you by name and all this stuff, and they track everything. So
yeah,
I have a friend that goes down there every year. He loves it. I find that somewhat creepy, but at least they're making it to the advantage that people really like that. But yeah.
I mean, they got a lot of IT going on there, a lot of sophisticated stuff. And they'll know if Leonard has that turkey leg or not when he walks into the restaurant.
That's right.
That's right.
Would you like another turkey leg, mistress?
No, you're right. Disney has always been advanced. You're right. They're the first ones to have that band at Disney World.
That's right.
I mean, they were doing sophisticated IoT stuff way back when.
Yeah.
My personal IoT experience with Disney World is when I was in Hitachi doing our Lumada industrial IoT thing. We had a version of it where it came with the hardware. And so, we talk about different kinds of edge computing or who knows what it is. But anyway, there was Lumada hardware. And this is because Hitachi made that hyper-converged kind of hardware stack thing with tons of storage and RAM and all that stuff. And so we had a version of Lumada where a company could buy a whole normal size rack and literally roll it onto the factory floor or whatever and turn it on, and magic's already happening. Like, it wasn't a big software install on your own gear or anything. And so one of our very first customers was Disney, and they bought it they had just were building their Toy Story ride at Disney World. And they wanted to monitor it and see what's going on and find problems and all that kind of stuff. And ironically, we were competing against all my buddies at the Azure IoT team. And they were there and we were there, and we kicked their ass. And it's because we had an end-to-end solution. It all ran on a rack, and Disney's like, yeah, I want the whole rack and I want to roll it right onto our property.
Yeah. Microsoft's never been able to do that.
Right. And so that's what they wanted. So it met that use case, and it wasn't here's a cloud thing and we don't do hardware and all that stuff. Disney's like, yeah, I need the whole thing, just turnkey, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It was the thing, and so that helped us win that deal. So that was pretty cool, getting telemetry.
To Debbie's point, this whole category of hospitality is a huge kind of IoT edge computing space. I mean, you think about hotels and the check-in process, and we all have our sort of stories about where it's working and not working. Some people kind of go a little too far with it, but the whole hospitality space, of which I would say Disney is, the Disney parks for sure, is part of that. There's probably a trade show somewhere about hospitality tech 2020.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's I can't remember the name of the company, but there's a organization that does stuff around biometrics, and so they have whole shows about hospitality and stadiums. Stadiums, that's the new hot thing, where they're following you around, and you can buy a beer with your eyeball, something like that.
With your eyeball. Woo.
Yeah.
Blink
yeah,
twice.
like scan or thumbprints and all. So it's stadiums are very sophisticated in this whole IoT thing. It's pretty interesting.
That's cool. Speaking of stadiums, I went to the Seahawks game last night at Lumen Field in Seattle. We were playing the Las Vegas Raiders. Always interesting to see for the first time Pete Carroll on the other sideline from us. But I got a great picture of Marshawn Lynch. Was there on the sidelines, on the Raiders sidelines, taking pictures. He had one of those big long range cameras, like you see at football games, and it was awesome to see beast mode. Yeah, everybody. He's a kind of I would say Marshawn's a national treasure, actually.
He is a national treasure. That Raiders Stadium, by the way, in Vegas is pretty impressive in terms of new tech. It's probably one of the most tech enabled. Venues. I guess the Levi's one in Santa Clara too is pretty.
It's pretty good. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. No, hospitality, these entertainment venues, very sophisticated on, ID and bands and purchasing beverages and all the other stuff they're trying to optimize for. So, we're doing in the AGI Foundation. We're doing a lot of industry engagement. How do you bring the voice of the industry into the community? Because we're a bunch of like tech makers, a lot of us, so it's like how do you bring in hospitality and entertainment and retail and have them and understand what the problems are that they're having. Like you said, like Disney's like, hey, I need this whole thing on a rack and I need it, so hearing those stories is really important, especially for people that are making tech out there, to make sure sometimes they call that voice of the customer, voice of the industry.
Yes, voice of the customer is so critical.
Tell us what exactly your needs are, not what you need, but what your needs are, and that's different. And then that's very helpful in terms of building product, because we all, as tech makers, we all fall in love with the products that we're building, and we're convinced that it's the best thing ever.
Of course.
Until we actually encounter a customer and they're like, well, I don't need that.
And, technically, as we know, it's the job of a product manager to really tap into that voice of a customer, when you're designing, you need to be plugged in so that you're not like so many stories we've heard of tech companies where they just go off into a cave somewhere and build what they think people want, right?
Here's a good book. I'll put it up. It's called The Secret Lies of Customers. I would say any product managers listening. It's not a thick book, easy read. But really good explanation of the jobs to be done approach.
I love that.
If you're familiar with the JTB. The approach, Clay Christensen and stuff. So understanding customer needs, which is, again, different than understanding what a customer says they need.
Right.
But understanding needs is a critical, you're right, product manager skill. And, that's a pretty cool thing. So and the best way to do that, obviously, is to engage with customers. But, not just asking what they want, but asking them why they want to get certain things done. What do they need to get done?
Yeah, would they use it, and would it be something that be attractive to them as opposed to something that they would, not want or be like creeped out by?
Yes.
Don't want to creep people out. That's for sure. That's interesting, because how many times do we hear people who go, well, Steve Jobs says that customers don't know what they want and they'll know it when I give it to them, and that kind of arrogant viewpoint.
That's a great excuse to waste a bunch of money.
That's it is. You're right. But we see people all the time like, no, we'll tell them what they want because we're following Steve Jobs, and then they crash and burn and build something.
Well, there's the anecdote, and it's not accurate, but there's the anecdote that says, well, if Henry Ford asked customers what they wanted, they would say faster horses. But actually that's the difference in asking people what they need as opposed to what their needs are. So if their needs are, I need to go faster, then it'd be like, okay, you need to go faster. Okay, well, then maybe we do need to build some kind of vehicle. So
that's a good point.
There. Subtle difference, but yes, you're right. People are like, they use these excuses to, and we saw that in our years at Microsoft as well, right? So
Let's
every
not
big
talk
tech
about
I have a friend of mine, he used to say, which is so true, I believe, he said, people don't want technology, they want stuff that works. So if you can get something that works, that solves a problem for them or helps them some type of easy way, then, that's a slam dunk right there.
True. Although tech is cool, though. It's fun.
Yeah.
It is cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, but tech for the sort, I always say I'm a technologist, but I don't love everything that people try to do with tech, right? So I'm like, no, that's not a good idea, or this is a great idea,
Well,
So
next time you try to check into a hotel with you and unlock the door with your phone or some kind of weird thing, and then it doesn't work,
and it doesn't work,
you have all your luggage. You're like, God damn it!
I've got to go.
That happened to me.
Yes.
New York and something I can't remember. I don't know if I had to unlock my phone. I don't remember, but I had to drag myself and my luggage down to the lobby a couple of times just to try to get them to get the door fixed. So that was a pain. I'm like, hey, what happened to keys? Well, my thing is, you should have a backup plan.
Yes.
Can I have that?
Yes. If only Microsoft had talked to customers, said, what I really want, and they'd say, I just want a laptop that doesn't blue screen on me. Can I get that?
Actually, they did. They changed the screen now. It's not blue anymore.
Oh, right. That fixed it.
You said you don't want blue screen, so we fixed it.
We fixed it. It's not blue anymore. There you go. And now we got Bill coming in hot.
Yes.
Look at that. with his Louisville Slugger hat.
Always.
That's right. And today is FAFO Friday.
Oh, I love that shirt. Wow. That's awesome. I think what Bill really does is he runs a t-shirt shop business.
That was actually my first company.
No way.
Dead serious.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, wow. That was my first company. And I learned about factoring from that.
Really?
Yeah, it taught me an extremely valuable concept around how you lose money.
Okay. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So that was my first company.
Losing money.
Yeah. So was that a valuable experience for you business wise and teaching you other things?
100%. It's why both my companies have no VCs and no bank lending and none of that. I mean, it's
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. 1,000%.
So, I mean, the deal was I had gotten a deal with Foot Locker.
Okay.
To buy a whole series of basketball-oriented shirts, and we had a bunch of catchy phrases and everything on it. It was around the time that And One and the whole, street ball series was around and everything like that. And we were good until that PO came in, and I was like, I don't have enough funds to cover this.
Right.
And they weren't giving any cash up front. And so I went to the bank, and the bank was like, okay, well, you don't have enough assets for us to give you this. And I was like, how about, I'm like, would you guys consider factoring? And the percentages associated with the factoring, and we did not have enough guarantee that the products were going to fly off the shelves. Whole deal fell apart. I wound up being out about, a few $100,000.
Oh.
And I went back and dissected it and understood where we made our mistake. And the mistake was depending on others to fund your ideas.
Interesting. Which is a lot of people do that, though.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
The idea they get.
And I mean, and there's a ton of stories out there about how founders, get voted out of their own businesses. The board moves them out, all of that stuff. And you just, crazy things like, you're moved out, and then, oh, by the way, we're going to give you a severance of X. Oh, but if you want to keep your shares, it's going to cost you that X.
Oh, ouch.
With still no guarantees. So
at the time, you probably thought that I have this PO for this many t-shirts, and I should be able to go to the bank and get a loan based on this piece of paper. Because there's that story that's out there that says, yes, you should be able to do that. Here's my collateral. Here, this is legit.
100%. 100%. So it did not work that way. Painful as it was, and everyone's like, well, why would you use your own money? And I'm like, I'm going to bet on myself every time.
Yeah, bet on yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know a guy who knows a guy if you need some money. So.
There is a hassle factor, right? And I think if you put your own skin in the game, I think you think twice about what you do. So
being self-funded that's the ideal. I mean, it's challenging though, right? If you need to really scale, but
yeah.
Well, you'd be like Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos' come up story. I think his stepfather gave him $300,000. So if you have
there's that
relative that can throw you a couple $100,000.
That's
borrowing money from family members. What could go wrong? I mean, there's no.
And that's the other end of it. I'm like, that part of it. If you're married, best to have your partner on board and aligned to the risk associated with it.
So that was Mackenzie's dad who gave him the money. The one he divorced after he started seeing the.
Oh, it was her dad.
Whoops.
Whoop, there it is. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Ouch. It's great though, learning lessons from doing a small business, something like t-shirts. I love that. cool book from a long time ago. I forgot the name of the woman, but the gist of the title was everything I learned about business I learned at McDonald's. And the whole story was she, like anybody who ever worked at McDonald's as a teenager or whatever, she kind of did that and did every job at a McDonald's and then became in management and then learned about inventory and taking a truck and had to run the books and everything. And I don't know if she became a vice president in the corporation, but she kind of talked about it. It applies to any business. I learned how to do everything. Don't belittle the fact that it's a McDonald's restaurant. Mm-hmm. It's a microcosm of the biggest, of how everything works in the world,
True. By the way, yep. McDonald's has some pretty cool R&D.
Really?
So if you want to work in tech, applied tech, places like McDonald's and Walmart, they have huge IT, OT groups that are doing a lot of their own development and coding and design and AI and all that stuff. So
wow,
yeah,
more than one way to work at McDonald's.
They experiment a lot. So they roll out things and test it out, see if it works or not. They were actually the first company back in. I don't know. When I say this, it makes me sound like I'm 100 years old, but they were the first company that started using credit cards to pay for food. You remember this?
Yes.
30 years ago?
And that was a big deal.
It was a huge, but back then you still have to sign. So I guess they figured it out.
It's like, well, why would you buy a hamburger on credit?
Right. Right. Exactly. So that was they were the first to try to roll that out. I don't know, about 30 years ago.
Yeah, because you're right. There was that transition moment, and they reacted fast to it. You went from everybody had cash. And of course, I'm using cash to buy a burger at McDonald's. And then, but reducing friction, and all of a sudden more and more people had credit cards. And lots of places, you're right, did not take credit cards to go to a restaurant or buy fast food, let alone a drive-through or whatever.
Well, that until the 70s, I believe women weren't allowed to have credit cards.
Ouch.
That was
ouch. Yeah, I think that's, yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that because when I heard it, and then Pete, when you said, why would you buy a burger on credit? That was a Popeye thing. Wimpy was always saying,
"That's right. I'll pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today."
Bingo.
Boom. There you go.
The original credit guy.
You write a whole book about that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That could be a new business book.
Absolutely.
Learn from Wimpy.
Totally.
I love it. That's good. That's interesting.
How to create a business where I can sell something that I don't own, like Spy Hero. Yeah. It's you don't own those spots, but you rent them. You know what I'm saying? So I have to figure out how to do that.
A Spy Hero?
Spy Hero, the one it tells you you can rent parking spots, but basically they just go from town to town and ask towns hey, there's some space under a railroad track or under an L track or something. Can we rent that? And they're like, well, sure. It was dead space. They weren't using it or whatever, but they don't have to buy the spots. All they have to do is rent it and give the municipality a cut. Like Spot Hero.
They do that. They do that in Texas a lot.
Spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You can go into downtown Austin and look at the underpasses, and you will find. And the thing about it is, it's not regulated in terms of what you can charge.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't buy anything. You just put a sign up and got an app and told somebody to go there and they collect money. You split the money.
That's a great deal. So it's kind of if you had a food truck, you go to the business and say, I'd like to put my food truck in the parking lot here.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a cut or whatever. Or a vending machine. I want to put a vending machine in your whatever.
Cigarette machine.
Yeah.
Or like Uber, because Uber doesn't own cars, right?
That's right.
But they manage transportation. So, yeah.
They are.
Matchmaking. That's brilliant. Yes. Matchmaking. So you find ways to matchmake.
Well, the real estate agent, same thing, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which seems to be really tenuous when you can find everything online now and have 3D walkthroughs and all kinds of stuff.
So.
But I get
I
it.
think people are still using agents.
You're right. They do. You're right.
Well, you just went through that process. Are you still staging your house? Is that what we're seeing behind you?
Yes, clearly that. Yeah. Yes, our house is on the market, and we went through hell and back and spent a lot of money. I didn't realize you had to spend a lot of money to sell your house. I thought people gave you money, but what did I know? And so we repainted the interior and the exterior and new carpet, and we got a brand new roof.
You decided to stay.
Oh, those are so expensive.
I know. Yeah. And so we poured a lot of money, and so house is on the market, and it's got all this new stuff. And you're right, it's like that Love It or List It show from way back when. It's like, oh wow, our house has never looked better. I think I want to stay. Yeah. And so crazy really loving this.
The real estate market. Well, and then the agent takes their cut. So
yes, and they have stagers.
Stagers.
Got the whole staging thing. So
they bring in their
actually the IoT thing, the insurance companies, they send drones out to like spec out your area and everything. Your property. Hey, Pete has a rake on his grass. It's been there for like 3 weeks or whatever. So it's not in the shed, it's just out.
That's right. The homeowners association is going to come after him because he's got a rake in his yard.
The drones, the spy drones.
That's always an interesting thing.
I was talking to a company called EMAS this week. They're out of a very interesting company that makes very low power edge AI processing for mostly like anything that's really power intensive, like drones is a big part of their market. So imagine with a drone, like the less power you have to consume, you get more flight time, you get better lighter batteries and things like that. So it was really interesting to hear what some of the applications are having. But in that drone space, like every half ounce matters. So and the amount of you can get 20, 30, 50x, tops per watt improvements, then all of a sudden your drones can fly that much farther and longer and things like that. So anyway,
there you go.
Just to reconnect the whole conversation back to tech.
Hold it back. Pull it
back.
Exactly. Wow.
I'm still waiting for my Amazon drone deliveries, which never showed up.
When is that going to happen?
I don't know.
It's happening in a few places.
Are they doing that? You're supposed to put a little target out, little target on your driveway.
I mean, I would prefer that over the people that now just come and they see the sidewalk entrance to my house and just drop it there on the corner,
Blow down and chuck it out the window.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, I don't know if you watched the show The Bear on Hulu.
Love it.
They employ a robot to deliver the beef sandwiches now called Chucky.
Oh, I'm way behind in The Bear. I need to catch up.
Put the sandwich in Chucky and Chucky just drives away. And
that's hilarious. So I apologize. This is not tech related, but in addition to getting to see Marshawn Lynch on the sidelines at the football game last night, I loved some little items since I'm into wine and things like that. We were kind of doing the Delta 360 Club level there at the football stadium, and they have a giant bar, and you can bring this to your seat. You can get a whole bottle of wine. So I was like, yes, we'll have a bottle of DeLille D2. And then I brought it home because I think the design is great. I should bring it. I should find it. It's a carafe, but it's really good plastic carafe, but it looks like a nice glass carafe. Has this attachment on top that has like an aerator thing in there. And so basically the woman at the bar, she like grabs the D2 bottle, opens it, just pulls it straight down there. And so you're getting a lot of aeration, obviously, since it's going chug-a-lug-a-lug in there. And then screws this thing on there. It's an aerator, and then the lid, and they give you your cups, and you walk to your seat. And now you've got some high-end wine. And, I thought it was pretty darn cool. And then
pretty cool.
Other high-end cocktails, margaritas, all things were in these beautiful, it looked like I was high-end glasses that people were taking to their seats, but it turns out they were all plastic. But super impressive. They look so real, and
the plexiglass stuff is pretty impressive.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, so things you might want to have at your house, like if you have guests over and maybe you're outside on the patio, on the deck or whatever, and you don't want to break glasses,
Yeah, no, we have a set of outdoor wear like that. That's like, it's gotten a lot better these days than it used. The old plastic, get the red Solo cups. Those are cool, but
right.
Even those you can buy that are like high end
Solo cups.
Reusable. But no, these going back to the hospitality thing, pretty sophisticated food and beverage situations there. That's kind of part of the draw, right? As you go to these games and you spend, I don't know what you spend on your wine, but I'm sure
it was $72 for the bottle. Yes. I said
crazy.
I walked up there and can I get like 2 or 3 cups of wine? And of course she's like, I could give you a whole bottle and that gives you 4. And I'm like, okay.
All right, Bill.
Bye, Bill. It's okay. It's a time to probably wrap up anyway. And
time to wrap up.
Yes. I don't like being late to those meetings.
No.
All right. You guys have a great weekend.
All right. You do the same. Good seeing you, man. All right.
Well.
All right.
All right, gents. Well, thank you so much, as always.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. Maybe, Pete, should you take us out?
Sure. Why not? Well, you've encountered us once again here on the internet tubes, and we had a nice little tour of the Disney store from Leonard, and it kind of reminded me why I don't go to Disney stores anymore. Thank God. But anyway, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for, maybe learning a few things here, a few things to read, a few things to think about. Also, make sure you go to elevateourkids.org. That's really what we're doing here, is to make sure that the digital divide or the digital chasm or whatever it's called is being filled up with donations. And more than ever, now that the tariffs are in place, I'm sure those pieces of tech will cost a little bit more, but your donations will help. So elevateourkids.org is really good. And thank you, Debbie, and thank you, Rob and Bill and Leonard. And I guess we'll see you all next week.
Sounds like a plan. Great seeing you guys. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right. Take care.
All righty. Adios.
Bye.